I need that blue white bitch on TikTok, she a little teapot, two left feet, them Reebok. Shawty did freelance, now she a free thought. Shoulda never let the bitch alone with my seat. My set a bitch skip, kid, popping in my Reeboks, talking about a detox, pussy like a beatbox, all grown up, bitch, looking like Celine, not that booty. Could've been 30, could've been a G.
Now I'm ready. It's so heavy. This is the all-new Simagic Alpha Evo Ultra, a 28Nm wheelbase and the current pinnacle of Simagic's engineering. And while it's only the second largest black long object I've ever seen in my entire life, I have to mention that this base was provided completely for free by Simagic themselves, for testing purposes and abusive purposes for my 8-year-old sim rig that has definitely seen better days. Everything you're about to hear is my honest opinion, so let's get into it. Build quality is exceptional, as you'd expect from Simagic. The base feels absolutely solid, just like a rock. Design-wise, it's a clear step up from the Alpha Ultimate. The more rounded edges make it look more modern, and the front Evo logo paired with the customizable ring light adds both style and functionality. You can use it for ABS, traction control, flags, and more. I do kind of miss the Simagic side stickers from older design, but overall this feels like a refined evolution. Compared to the other Evo bases, it follows the exact same design language, just on steroids. Basically the guy she tells you not to worry about. Installation is super straightforward. A few cables, 4 bolts, and about 10 minutes later you're ready to go. Setups are just as easy to set up. The out-of-the-box settings already feel great and very realistic, but, of course, I had to try my Alpha Ultimate settings on it first. It's worth mentioning that the Alpha Evo Ultra is PC only, so console players will unfortunately miss out here. On the other hand, the ecosystem is excellent. Simagic offers a wide range of wheels, from round rally and drift options to GT and Formula style rims, so you're basically covered no matter what you drive. And if you want to go third party, for some reason, the QRA adapter lets you use external wheels wirelessly, which is a huge bonus. And everything is managed to the SimPro Manager 3.0 software, which is clean, intuitive, and easy to navigate. And if you ever run into issues, their Discord community is actually super useful. At this price, with an additional 3% off with code stefandavid. Thank you very much. And with 28 Nm of torque, this is probably almost definitely not aimed at beginners. In fact, for most casual sim racers, it's completely overkill. Except for this guy. But for competitive drivers, especially for those who care about precision, consistency, and detailed feedback, this is exactly where the Evo Ultra shines. With a weaker base, you're often pushing it closer to its maximum output, especially in high-load situations like fast corners and heavy braking. And when that happens, you will lose a lot of details. Everything kind of compresses together, basically. With 28 Nm, you're nowhere near that limit most of the time. So the base has room to breathe, and that means it can deliver finer details more consistently. The pros are exceptional smoothness, big upgrade over the Alpha Ultimate, extremely detailed and precise feedback, faster and more accurate weight transfer, strong and usable torque, so not just brute force, great ecosystem and software, and good value for performance level. And the cons are not beginner friendly at all. It's a huge overkill, requires a solid rig, trust me, this is super important, and it's kind of expensive, but for what you get, hey, it's amazing. But this isn't really a con actually. Never mind. Going back to the Alpha Ultimate, after a few weeks of testing the new Evo Ultra, the results were a bit shocking. On paper, the jump from an 18-bit to a 21-bit encoder doesn't sound like much. More or less 3-bit if my math is right. But in reality, that's the difference between around 260,000 positions and over 2 million. Now, don't get me wrong, the Alpha Ultimate is still an incredibly detailed base and it still packs a punch. It's been solid for years, but the Evo Ultra does a few things noticeably better. First, smoothness. The Alpha Ultimate can feel slightly grainy around the center, while the Evo Ultra is just butter smooth across the entire range. Then, stability and predictability. The Evo feels more planted and easier to read, likely thanks to the low inertia motor. The Alpha Ultimate is more about brute force. It feels strong everywhere. The Evo Ultra, on the other hand, feels stronger exactly where it matters, at the limit of grip, and that makes it feel way more natural. And probably the biggest difference for me is weight transfer. The Alpha Ultimate feels slightly slower to react, while the Evo Ultra is much more immediate. At a track like Sebring, where the surface is really bumpy, that made a huge difference. The car just felt more alive. Grip, braking stability, everything felt more consistent, or better said, more predictable. So purely from a performance standpoint, the Evo Ultra clearly outperforms the Alpha Ultimate, and honestly, it holds its own against some of the best bases I've tried. So performance-wise, things are clear. The Alpha Evo Ultra outshines its father by quite a margin. But what about the price though? Right, you got me. I surrender. There had to be a catch. The offer was way too good to be true. Of course, it had to be way over 1.5k at this quality. But what if it's not? Simagic decided to bless us all Gabe Newell style by offering the Evo Ultra for about $969 or 820 euros. So, after all this testing, this is my final verdict. The Simagic Alpha Evo Ultra isn't just an upgrade, it's a clear step forward. It's smoother, more precise, and more predictable than the Alpha Ultimate, and it delivers force feedback exactly when it matters most. If you're serious about sim racing and want top tier performance without going into absurd price territory, this is easily one of the best wheelbases you can get right now.
Could have been 30, could have been a G. Should have never snitched. Why you took it to police? Started looking at you funny when you're walking down the street. Looking at you like food, trying to see where they can eat. Me, I'm like Wallow and Gilly with the game. You don't really want to act silly, behave. When I were on stage and the millie gets made.